You've spent years mastering your craft, honing your technique and perfecting every line reading. Your headshot is flawless, but the lead roles keep going to actors who look less perfect. There's a quiet revolution happening in casting offices from Seoul to Hollywood, and it has nothing to do with how you look and everything to do with what your face can no longer say. We've entered an era where technical perfection fails to connect because the emotional signals are simply missing. The secret link between your appearance and your expression has been severed. That link is called proprioception, your brain's innate subconscious sense of your face's position and movement. For actors navigating the unforgiving close-ups of high-definition cinema, this isn't an abstract concept. It's an invisible career killer. But by understanding the neurology behind it, you can learn to remap your face and reclaim your expressive range. To understand what's being lost, you must first understand the elegant, high-speed conversation happening between your face and your brain. This isn't metaphorical. It's a strict biological dialogue governed by two cranial nerves. The trigeminal nerve, cranial nerve 5, is the primary sensory highway. The trigeminal nerve has 3 branches that go up to your eyes, your cheeks, and your jaw. Place your hand on your face in this manner to give you an idea of the branches. Thousands of microscopic mechanoreceptors embedded in the skin and muscles, especially around your lips, cheeks, and eyes, constantly feed it data. They report the slightest stretch, the most subtle temperature change, and the gentle pressure of a breeze. The stream of information is your facial proprioception. Your brain uses this live data to build and maintain its internal map of your face, a region of the motor cortex neurologists call the cortical homunculus. In real time, your brain cross-references this sensory map with its intended emotional output, which it sends down the facial nerve, cranial nerve 7. This is the motor command that tells precisely which muscles to contract, how much and in what sequence to create a genuine smile, a flicker of doubt, or a micro-expression of grief. The magic of a compelling performance lives in this flawless, high-fidelity feedback loop. Now, introduce a foreign substance. Fillers and surgical alterations are biomechanically disruptive. By occupying space and creating a physical barrier between the muscle and the skin, they dampen and distort the signals from those crucial mechanoreceptors. The trigeminal nerve's data stream becomes corrupted with sensory static. The brain receives a blurry, unreliable picture. Its map of the face, the homunculus, becomes distorted. In response, the signals it sends back down the facial nerve become generalized, less precise, and overly cautious. The result isn't just a face that moves less, it's a neurological disconnect. The brain, uncertain of its own territory, defaults to broad, safe, stereotypical expressions, the macro expressions of technical acting. The micro expressions, those involuntary, authentic flickers that signal true thought and feeling, are lost in the static. They are not simply muted. The neurological pathway to create them is fundamentally compromised. This neurological deficit collides catastrophically with the modern filming environment. The rise of 8K resolution and advanced digital intermediates means the camera doesn't just see you, it sees through you. Directors and casting directors now speak openly about scanning an actor's face for what they call neurological dead zones, areas that remain eerily still in moments that demand subtlety. A perfectly smooth forehead that doesn't crease with concern, pillowy lips that don't purse with tension, or cheeks that don't hollow with apprehension. These aren't assets anymore. In close-up, they become glaring red flags of inauthenticity. The industry's shift is away from beautiful faces and toward neurologically available ones. An actor with full proprioception delivers a performance that the camera can mine for depth, whose subtlety holds up under the most intense scrutiny. Their faces tell a complete story. Conversely, an actor with dampened signals appears emotionally shallow, or worse, dishonest, triggering a negative response in the audience on a subconscious level. They feel that something is wrong even if they can't articulate it. We see this in performers who plateau abruptly after procedures. Their technical skill remains, but their ability to disappear into a character to make an audience believe diminishes. The instrument's most vital strings have been cut. The economic impact is direct and severe. You are no longer losing roles to more attractive actors. You are losing them to more expressive ones. The competitive advantage is no longer defined by perfection, but by authenticity, by a face that talks to the brain and tells the truth. This is the new benchmark. It's a shift that rewards the holistic mastery of one's instrument and penalizes any alteration that compromises its fundamental connection to the soul of the performance. Your face is not a sculpture to be perfected. It is the most sophisticated communications terminal you possess. The good news is that this neurological bandwidth can be restored. The brain's map is not static. It is plastic. Through targeted sensory re-education, you can force the trigeminal nerve to sharpen its signals and teach the brain to reinterpret the landscape of your face. This isn't about reversing procedures. It's about rebuilding the conversation. The protocol that I'm about to share uses simple, everyday items to create a daily 5-minute routine for neurological maintenance. Let's begin with sensory discrimination. This drill is great if you have fillers in your lips. For this, you'll need only a clean makeup brush or a soft bristled toothbrush. This is drill 1, the texture scan. Sit comfortably and with your eyes closed, gently trace the vermilion border of your lips, the precise line where your lip tissue meets your skin. The goal is not to stimulate the muscles, but to awaken the nerves. Use varying pressures from the lightest whisper of a touch to the slightly firmer stroke. Your brain, receiving these distinct tactile inputs, is forced to discriminate between them, sharpening the resolution of its sensory map. Pay specific attention to any areas that feel numb or dull. This is where you need to spend more time coaxing the nerve endings back to life. Do this after your skincare routine or before applying makeup. Next, we introduce temperature to shock the system awake. Drill 2, the thermal shock, requires a metal spoon. Place the spoon in the glass of cold water for a minute. Then gently place the back of it against some areas around where you've had plastic surgery done. The sudden cold activates a different set of receptors, thermoreceptors, that send a sharp, clear signal to the trigeminal nerve, bypassing the filler's dampening effect. Alternate this with the warmth of your own fingertip. This contrast therapy forces the brain to pay attention, creating a clearer, more defined sensory picture and breaking through the static. Finally, we move to motor recruitment with drill 3, the resistance part. This is another great one if you've had lip fillers. Take an ordinary drinking straw and hold it horizontally between your lips. Now gently pout your lips against the resistance of the straw. The simple isometric exercise does 2 things. First, it forces the brain to recruit more motor units within the orbicularis oris muscle to overcome the resistance, effectively strengthening the neural pathways that control fine movement. Second, the pressure of the straw against the lips provides a powerful proprioceptive feedback signal, reminding the brain of the lips' exact position and tension. If you don't have a straw, using your own finger to provide gentle resistance works just as well. Commit to this 3 drill sequence daily. The expected timeline for noticeable sensory improvements is typically 2 to 3 weeks of consistent practice. The benefits to your performance, however, will be immediate. You will feel a renewed connection to your instrument, a sense of clarity and control that translates directly into more nuanced, authentic, and camera-ready expressions. Integrate these exercises into your pre-audition and pre-shoot rituals. They are your new non-negotiable warm-up, more critical than any vocal exercise. This 5-minute routine is your long-term strategy for maintaining neurological fitness, the foundation upon which a durable career is built. The competitive advantage you gain is profound. A neurologically active face that communicates with unparalleled honesty. These practices do not replace traditional acting training. They complete it, grounding technique in biological truth. In an industry increasingly dominated by technology that exposes artifice, authenticity has become the ultimate currency. Your face is your instrument. Keep its connection to your soul crystal clear.